Welcome to episode 5 of Dr. Apoki's blog Reinvented, where timeless lessons of Dr. Charles Apoki are brought to life through contemporary storytelling. When studying the prodigal son, we've looked at the benefits of family unity and the secrets of the 6 P's of wealth. We also deliberated on the years of the lean cows, which are sometimes inevitable in a man's life, and the need for self-humility before external circumstances force you to be humble. Finally, we'll be discussing impulsive and compulsive living in this episode. Today's topic is titled, Don't Be Pressured into Impulsive and Compulsive Living. The prodigal son, after he got his share of his father's wealth, went on a rampage and spent all he had been given impulsively and compulsively. A lot of the pressure would have definitely come from his friends and people he was trying to impress. After all he squandered, he was left alone to come back to his senses. There are 2 key portions involved in decision-making in the brain. They are the amygdala, which is responsible for impulsive behavior, and the prefrontal lobe, which analyzes and moderates behavior. Animals and reckless people usually operate at the amygdala level of the brain, while very disciplined people have trained themselves over time to have very functional prefrontal lobes to regulate their actions, appetites, emotions, etc. Some social scientists believe that less than 5% of the population actually think by themselves. 95% hardly think independently, and if they do, they might even die. It sounds funny. Some time ago, our young girls were busy opening their bums in the name of low-waist trousers or skirts, and you see them struggling to pull their blouses over their bums. Today, there is a new trend called high waist that looks like corsets. People usually do most things out of follow mentality. You must do a cost-benefit analysis, no matter how little it is, before you make any expenditure. I have traveled by first-class flights twice. One was from Nairobi to Antananarivo. Even though we boarded before others, the plane waited for the last passenger before we took off. We landed at the same time and ended up in the same bus that took us to the terminal building. The difference was not really worth the cost. For a businessman like me, I'm yet to grow into that level. I would use the difference to buy a few bags of cement. First class, no day finish, I go into later. Why will you house a girl in your room as an undergraduate? What will you do when you are married? Must you, as a struggling pastor, travel in a convoy with several assistants to preach and bring undue burden on your host? Must you, as a young pastor, host a great man of God and end up with debts and financially task your members? I have learned not to be pushed or pressured by people to do things which are not beneficial to me. That's why I don't join clubs. I wear what I can afford. At the end, I will personally give an account of my life. My journey is different from your own. My level is not the same as yours. A guest preacher requested for a charter flight costing 2 million naira. For the same program, I paid 2,500 naira for transport to preach. Our cities are only 30 kilometers apart. I preached on Friday and he preached on Saturday. That Saturday, I flew to Lagos, Lagos to Nairobi, Nairobi to Madagascar, Madagascar to Nairobi, Nairobi to Juba in South Sudan, and South Sudan to Nairobi, and back to Lagos for just about 310,000 naira. Compare that to the 40 minutes chartered flight costing 2 million naira. Compare that to the 40 minutes chartered flight. That 2 million naira will go a long way towards building Petra Institute. The man in this picture is very rich. As I was teaching on wealth in his church, he bowed his head to reflect at one point. Ironically, the poor were busy talking outside. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to also like and subscribe. God bless you.